All right. So for this one, you gotta know fractions, right? And we did fractions, right? I know a little bit of algebra, but the main thing here is fractions and transposition, right? Um, so we want to make V the subject. So look at this fraction as a whole, right? So if I take over this fraction, 2 upon t, what this fraction is doing, anybody? Adding or subtracting?
Subtraction.
Right. So we get 1 upon r plus, because it is subtracting here, we take over the entire fraction, we get 1 upon r plus 2 upon t. And I left with 1 upon v here, right? We want 1 upon v. So what we need to do, right? So let me show you guys a technique. So if I want, we have 3 upon t, and here I have 1 upon, let me see, 1 upon x, right? And they ask me here, listen carefully, and they ask me here to make x a subject, in this case, right? All I could do is flip both sides. So if I flip 1 upon x, what I'm gonna get? X upon 1. Flip this side and get t upon 3. X upon 1 is the same thing as x?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, anything upon 1 is the same thing, right? 5 upon 1 is 5, 10 upon 1 is 10. So this is x. So now x is the subject. So x is equal to t upon 3. This is just to show you that you can just flip both sides and you're good. So if I flip v, I need to flip this side. But in order for me to flip this side, I need to get the fraction as a whole, or as one fraction then, right? So how can I get this as one fraction? Just to work it out, isn't that
Yes,
so?
sir. Yes,
Work
sir.
it out. So what gonna be the LCM for R and T? RT, right?
Yes, sir.
R times T or RT.
Yes, sir.
The RT can be the LCM. Then we say R into RT, like number fractions within, right? Then we say R into RT, the 2R cancel out and we left with T. So we multiply it by the numerator. T times 1 is T. Then now we got add, right? Then we
Sir,
say, yeah, go ahead.
can you go over this when you finish?
All right.
It's a bit complicated.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through it back step by step. Don't worry. Then we say T into RT. The 2T can cancel out. I left with the R.
And left with R.
So we say 2 times R, give me 2R. Algebra, right? Good. So we just work out this one side. This side, it is how we do. And we left with the 1 upon v on this side. So we can't add nothing at the top A because they are unlike terms, right? We're dealing with T and R. We can't add them, right? So what we can do, we get them as one fraction though. It's like one fraction here at all. So we got just how all we gotta do is to flip this side. If we flip this side, we can get v upon 1, which is the same thing as v. And we flip this side, we can get RT upon T plus 3R, right? So we are, all we gotta see is now we get V as a subject. V is basically equal to RT upon, right? So let me go for the top, right? So this is, we're dealing with fractions now, right? This is just the difference. So they want us to make V the subject, right? So the objective should be to get 1 upon V as a subject first, right? So all we do is to take over this 2 upon T. This 2 upon T subtracting, when we take it over, it will come over here and add, right? You see that? Then we left with the 1 upon V. So we don't want 1 upon V, we want V as a subject, right? We want V as a subject. So what I'm showing is that with fractions, all you gotta do is you could flip one side and flip the next side, and they will still equal to each other, right? If I flip one side, I need to flip the next side. That's all I'm saying, right? But in this case, this is 2 separate fractions. I gotta get them as 1. Like for instance, this is like 1 fraction, right? And you can just flip both sides, right? In this case, it's 2 separate fractions, I get it. So what I gotta do, I gotta try to work it out so that I can get 1 fraction, all right? And I just need to flip it and my work is done. So all we do is to apply fraction in this case. The LCM will be RT. Then we divide the LCM into the denominator. RT into R, we get T. We use the T and we multiply by the numerator. T times 1 is T. Then we come on this side. T into RT. T cancel out, we left with the R. So it's 2 times R, and we get 2R equal to the 1 upon V. We flip it, and then we flip. We flip, we get V upon 1, which is the same as V. And then we gotta flip this side, it will be RT upon T plus 3R. Right? So while practicing, these things will come natural. It's different techniques used to make the so you gotta practice because you're not gonna get it right. You can't just look at it, you gotta think, right? Good. So you can take this down and you guys can start trying.
So are you leaving it like that, right?
Yeah, it's good like that, right? V is equal to RT upon T plus 3R. Right? So number 4 now is a little easier. You just gotta know to remove brackets. So this is the reason why I teach those things before. These techniques like how to remove brackets, fractions, algebraic fraction, which is basically using letters with fractions. So you guys can function when we come to these points, right? Good. So number 4. Give you guys 3 minutes. I want you guys to try it. Then I will come and work it, right? Number 4. Did they say given that x is equal to y subtract 2 all upon y subtract 3? They say express y in terms of x. So all they asking is to make y the subject, right? Nothing complicated. Make y the subject.
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
can I be excused from the class for a few minutes?
All right, no problem.
Thanks.
All right. So you have x is equal to y subtract 2 divided by y subtract 3, right? So we're making y the subject. Making y the subject. All right. So we notice that there are two y's there, right? Everybody noticed that.
Yes, sir.
Good. So at some point we will factor it out. Sorry. So let's take over the denominator on the next side. So what the denominator is doing? Y subtract 3. Dividing, right? And when you go over, you gotta do multiply. So x and gotta multiply this entire denominator. So we put the denominator in a bracket. So we have x, open bracket, y, subtract 3. We get y, subtract 2 left on the next side, right? Good. So all we got to do now is to remove this bracket here. Extract it out. So we have x multiplying both of these individually, right? So we have x times y and give me xy. Then x times minus 3, give me minus 3x. All right. Good, and then we left with y minus 2 on this side. Good. Now, we want to make y the subject, so we got to try to get these two together, the xy and the y. So you could factor it out to get 1y. All right? So let's carry over this y on this side and group it up with this one, xy, right? So we have xy. So when this go over the equal sign, this y is what? A positive y, right? The sign in front of it is a positive y. So we take it if we gotta subtract, so it could be minus y. And then we have the minus 3x that is already there. And what on left on this side is this minus 2, not 2. Minus 2 is left on that side. All right, good. So what we can do now is to take over, we can take over this 3x on this side. Because all we're interested in right now is the xy and the y together. We don't need this to do no factorization, right? You want the two y's them, or the two terms that get y, so we can factor it out to get one y. We don't want to see two y's. So let's take over this minus 3x. This minus 3x. When we carry it over, it will add. So it'll be minus 2 plus 3x. Right? Now we factor out the y. So we put y, open up a bracket, right? So then we say y into xy. We have xy and y going to take the two y cancel out and left with the x. We have x. Now we have a minus y into minus y, and give me what? If you have minus y and y going to take the two y cancel out, right? And you have
Yes,
the minus
sir.
sign. Good. You have the minus sign though. So it can't just be 1, it gotta be a minus 1. It'll be minus 1, right? Good. Then on this side, we'll get the minus 2 plus 3x.
Both, sir.
All right. Good. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna go from the top so you can get to understand, right?
All right.
Good. So yeah, we have y open bracket x minus 1. This is what we factorize. And we know on this side we get minus 2 plus 3x. So what we gotta do to make y the subject, it's a carry over the bracket. And the bracket is multiplied. We go over and divide. So we have 2 plus 3x all upon x minus 1. And that is y. Y is equal to minus 2 plus 3x all upon x minus 1. All right? So let me go from the top. We have x equal y minus 2 divided by y minus 3. We notice that there are two y's. You have y at the top and y at the bottom. So at some point, you gotta factorize. All right. So we go ahead and we take over this denominator, y minus 3. When we take over that, we gotta carry it over and multiply because it's dividing. And it need to multiply the x. Right, so we have x open bracket, the y minus 3. Right, these two multiply. And then we left with the y minus 2 on this side. Good. So the objective is to factorize.
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
so we got the x times y minus 3, that's the numerator.
X times y minus,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
here
yeah,
it's
yeah.
referring to?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a numerator.
Oh,
This
all
is
right.
basically dividing 1, if you want to say that.
All right.
Right? All right. Good. So the objective is to factorize. factor out the y, because you get 2y, you want get it together in order to factorize it out, right? So we need to put terms that involve y together to factorize, in order to factorize. So we have this xy and we have this y by itself. We need to get these two together, or we need to group them, right? In other words, so I'm taking over this y here. This is a plus y, you know, a positive y. The sign in front of it is a positive. Once you see no sign in front of it, it means that it's a positive y, right? So we carry it over. This is it here. And it becomes a minus y. See that? We put it together with the xy. This is what we're interested in, to factorize. So how we do, we just carry over this minus 3x on the next side because we want to factorize. And we just carry it over there and done with them. All right, so we carry over the minus 3x on this side. You need to go over and add, and this is it here. All right, good. So now we have the xy minus y. We need to factor out the y. So we take out the y, so we can able to get one y. So we take out the y. And then we say, all right, y into xy, you're left with x, right? And y into minus y left with minus 1. Factorization, right? And all we do now is to make y the subject. So to make y the subject, we need to get rid of this bracket. So we carry over this bracket on the next side. This bracket is multiplying y, you know. When we carry it over, it will go over and divide whatever's on the next side. So it will be y equal to minus 2 plus 3x divided by x minus 1 in bracket, right? Good. So here you just need to you just need to remove the bracket. When we do this before, and factorization, and you just need to know how to transpose. So this is basically it. All right. So take it down.
I understand a little bit, you know.
Yeah. So as I told you before, you just gotta practice and this thing will come easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is a crucial part of maths. If you don't know how to do this, you might find it kind of difficult. I notice with CSEC now they bring in maths a little more challenging. So you gotta come
So
right here. Yeah.
you're talking about next year?
No, basically look at the years go by,
Oh,
and I notice that they increase in the difficulty of it.
oh.
I gotta be prepared, right?
Sorry, so like when are you when you might start doing past papers with the class?
Right. So past papers, I average like we in November.
All right.
We in November right now.
Yeah.
So past paper gonna start the same month. I
All
might
right.
pick up for instance if I'm doing velocity time graph, right? Or if I'm doing simultaneous equation, quadratic, it will come from past papers.
I want to know these things before my class teacher start, you know, teaching them. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
So the same month after this is basically we're going to simultaneous equation and quadratic and so forth. And you can so easy it can be because you can know how to transpose, you can know how to add terms and what you're gonna add and these kind of things. So it can be easy, don't worry. Yeah. So take this down. I want you to work one more before we close off today. And it's a simple one. This one here, make y the subject. All you gotta do is take over the square root. Then you take over the t.
I know,
Equal
finish
to m.
copying the last example.
And that's it. All right, let me open them up.
Thanks.
So number 5, right? Simple one. Give you guys 2 minutes. All right, I can work this one right here. I think most of you guys should be able to get this one out. So the square root of y(n) all upon t equal 3b, right? Good. So we're making y the subject. Now we got to do is take over the square root for us. It'll be y(n) upon t. And the square root needs to go over and square everything on the next side. So you have 3b, put it in a bracket. This shows that both of them are doing square. Remember I told you that, right? You can put it individually or you can put it like this. And then we take over the t. Right? When we take over the t will go over and multiply, right? That's dividing right now. Left with ym on this side. We have 3b square.
So can I give my answer for this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Y equals 3b squared t over m.
Excellent. Right? Excellent. So this t here, we go over here and multiply. Or you can put it together. No issue, it's the same thing. So it can be 3b squared multiplied by t. And then we take over the m now. The m is multiplying on this side. We take it and we need to go over and divide. So it will be upon n. It will be 3b squared. Remember the squaring both of them. So you need to put in a bracket. Times t all upon m. Okay? You can put it like that, or if you want to extract the bracket from the square, it can be 3 square b square. 3 square is 9. You know that, right? So it could be 9b square t upon m. Because remember this square here, squaring the 3 and squaring the b. So it can be 3 square is 9 and b square is b square, right? It will be 9b squared times the t. We put it together. All upon m. Right? So tomorrow I'm gonna send a quiz to you guys. I think I might send it around midday time. So you guys are gonna work it. And you can send it to me before the day is out. Take your time and work it out. And just to see how you guys are working. So there's a purpose to it, right? So it will be everything that is done from the starting to now. We started off with fractions. And right now we are transposition. So yeah. So we do the fundamental stuff that should help you with the rest of the topics. All right, so that's gonna be it for the day. Expect a worksheet from me tomorrow, midday time. Find some time and work it out and send me your answers before the day is out. All right, so take care.
Okay, sir. Finish fast today, you know.